Welcome to the Funeral Funds Life Insurance Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Vandervate from Funeral Funds of America, and you can find us at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, Funds.com. Whether you're interested in term life, whole life, annuities, disability, business continuation, or final expense life insurance funding, we have you covered. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the complexities of insurance products to help you make an informed decision. In this podcast, I'm going to be discussing what does burial insurance cover? Point number one today is burial insurance can cover, of course, burial and funeral expenses. And that's exactly what final expense burial insurance is intended to do, is pay for all the costs surrounding your funeral, including casket, burial plot, funeral home services, all other related expenses. It also works if you want to get cremated. You could set your plans up originally to get buried, and if you just decide to get cremated at some point in your life, then you could easily change to that. And you might go, well, I would never get cremated, but your family might be forced to do something. Maybe you're traveling out of state or out of country, and it would just be logistically impossible to get your body home. Then cremation might be an alternative. So you just got to think down the road a little bit on and have those conversations with your family. Kind of, if this, then that. Just because life is so uncertain, none of us knows how we're going to pass away. Our number two topic on what does burial insurance cover is final medical expenses. So here's a good example. Say you had a $20,000 policy and you're going to get buried and you're only going to need $10,000 of that policy. Well, you've got $10,000 left. Well, I shouldn't say you do. Your beneficiaries will, your family members, loved ones, or children will have extra money left over. And if you have medical bills relating to your death, the final care, before you passed away, and so many people do, because not everybody just dies in their sleep. A lot of people have to go into the healthcare and medical and emergency system, and there's just tremendous amount of bills that insurance won't cover, Medicare, Medicaid, any of that won't cover. So what this final expense burial insurance can do is provide that extra money. So $10,000 goes toward your burial, and then $10,000 is left over that could be used for medical bills or credit card bills or anything like that. Because if you have any type of estate, when you pass away, if there's any outstanding bills, those will have to be paid. And whoever you owe that debt to can come after your estate and your assets. So having that burial insurance in place, that life insurance, that final expense insurance, is a great way to make sure that your family doesn't have to deal with that, and all your assets just transfer over in a nice orderly fashion to them. Number four for what does burial insurance cover is it covers end of life expenses. And that can be things like hospice care, medical care, anything related to the final days, weeks, or months of our lives. And not everyone is fortunate enough to die in their sleep. um, and that may sound morbid, but both my parents died of dementia, and it was a slow, miserable death, and lots of bills racked up during that time for that extended care and housing and care and everything like that. And boy, it's challenging to see family go through that, but it's challenging to have to deal with all the just really exorbitant medical expenses from that. So this insurance can really protect your loved ones and your children from having to pay out of pocket for that. Just anything related to that. It can be so challenging because, the people that are left behind really want to make sure that you're as comfortable as can be and that you get the best care possible. But things get so expensive these days. Having some extra funds can really be an incredible benefit for those that are left behind. And then the fifth item for what burial insurance can cover is travel expenses. So let's say you have a $20,000 policy and you only need $10,000 for the burial, but you were traveling out of state Maybe you live in Texas, but you are traveling in Florida, and you want to make sure that you are actually buried deep in the heart of Texas, right? So, I mean, that's a lot of money. If you don't want to be cremated, if you get cremated, it's not that big of a deal. It can just be carried by a family member on an airplane or shipped or something like that. But yeah, if you want your body, you're probably going to have to arrange a private air flight to get your body back, and that's just a lot of money. So if that's your deepest wish is to be buried deep in the heart of Texas, then you could get the insurance to pay for that. So you would have to have more insurance, of course, than what's necessary. So if the burial is going to cost 10,000, you would need 10,000. You might need 5,000 to transport the body, and then that gives you 15,000, but that's if you died today. So if you want to inflation proof that plan, you might want to get some extra coverage, maybe $20,000 or so. But yeah, we help people with that all the time, kind of work through those numbers and the different scenarios and just make sure that you end up with everything covered so that your family members, loved ones, or children don't have to pay for this. My name is Randy Vandervate, and I hope this podcast has been helpful to you. Funeral Funds of America can help you qualify for first aid coverage or benefits at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, FUNDS.com. And our phone number is 888-862-9456. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, stay safe, take care, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.